You need to sell some of them. You're wasting all your time and money on models. Paint what you have.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Model Club TV, episode 30. Oh, you drew a picture. Look at that. Well done. How long did that take?
I had a lot of time because by the time you got ready to do the episode,
Yeah. Okay. We're here. How are you, Scott? You good?
I'm swell.
It's been a good week and a half?
It's been the best week ever.
Because you didn't talk to me? Is that what it is?
No, I talked to you, unfortunately, but
Too much. Oh,
I
no.
saw you.
My coffee cooled off. Her underwear's back. Dang it. Oh, well. I'm okay. Thanks for asking, Scott.
Oh, that's great. You okay? Good.
We have a bit of an unusual show today. We have a guest, sort of.
Sort of guest.
Elaborate, Scott, a little bit.
We're going to call it a 3D artist profile.
Okay.
And this is a gentleman that I've been buying a lot of STLs from.
You're feeding his children.
I'm trying.
Okay.
And his name is Uel Winner, spelled UELWINNER. But he sent us actually an MP4 on how to pronounce his name. So it's like Uel Winner.
Okay.
So, there we go.
This is awesome. We're going to get into it. And he's where in the world?
He is in Brazil.
Awesome.
And boy, I should have practiced where that was from. So I don't say it wrong, but we'll
edit it. We'll edit. Other than that, Scott, let's do our giveaway first. Very first.
Giveaways.
Remind people what we're giving away this episode on your end, and I'll do my end.
We're giving away from Monsters in the Woods, John Deere, sculpted by Jeff Yagher, a quarter scale Mr. Hyde bust. The bust itself cast by me, the base cast by John Deere, sculpted by Jeff Yagher, and the molds are near the end. So this might be one of the last casts.
Oh, wow.
John
Okay.
decides to remold it. So, yeah. And we're going to give that away first, I guess. And then, so what are you giving away?
Yeah, we're giving away the Thor from Heng Hilger, all the way from Luxembourg. I'll remember everyone's contact information if you want one of these kits. If you don't win, will be down below in the video description. So please check them out. They have been awesome to us. Everyone who gives us a kit to give away, especially these last two are pretty good kits here. So please try and help all these people out. They're garage kit makers. They're not making a lot of money. What do you want to do first?
You decide. I'm Mr. Hyde.
Oh, yeah. Everyone thinks you're Mr. Hyde.
Not everyone.
Most people.
Okay.
The smart people did.
You and that Brian Clark guy are influencing people.
What? Get out of here. All right, we're pulling for Hyde. Well, let's do it this way. I pulled a Thor. So let's do that.
Idiot. Okay. Why did you mix them?
Because it's easier that way. Because some of them are for both. So this one is a Thor winner. So we'll do Thor.
So Thor.
Thor. So it's Goyla Sterling. You have won the Thor kit.
Who? What? Give me the name again.
Goyla Sterling.
Okay.
Excellent. Congratulations, Goyla.
He lives in Russia or something.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. No. No, it'll be all right. No, send us an email at modelclubtv@gmail.com. And here we go for Mr. Hyde. If it's a both or Hyde, it wins. If it says Thor, we put it back. Oh, look at that. We pulled a specific Thor and a specific Hyde. Starlighting projects.
Matthew Lawrence.
Matt Lawrence has won the Hyde.
We're not sending him nothing.
Oh, man. So thank you, both you guys. And girls. I think girl. I think Goyla's a girl. I'm assuming.
Oh,
I'm assuming gender. Great. I'm dead. Anyway, congratulations to everyone on those winners. And please send us an email. We'll get those out to you. And thank you to everyone who sent in kits.
Yes, we really appreciate it. We have a real good one coming, but
Oh,
we're not
yeah.
going to say what it is. But
I will give a hint. It is going to be our Christmas giveaway.
Yes, we are going to have a Christmas giveaway.
Because this is a good one.
So.
Christmas giveaway. So it's a big deal. Anyway, Scott, have you seen any movies in the last 2 weeks?
I have.
What?
I have seen a movie.
Holy crap. What did you see?
So.
Oh, this got to be good. What did you see? Wait, was it Suicide Squad?
No, it's never going to be Suicide Squad. Although I wanted to commit suicide after watching what I did watch. So I happened to tune to Svengoolie last week.
Okay.
And War of the Colossal Beast was on. Now, this is a sequel to The Amazing Colossal Man, which I think is an AI movie, B movie. And
wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe, I could be wrong. But anyway, it's actually not a bad movie. The first one is not a bad movie. And so the second one is a sequel to the first one.
I don't think I've even seen the first one then.
And so at the end of the first one, spoilers, at the end of the first one, The Amazing Colossal Man.
We're doing spoilers from movies from the
50s. Well, because I might not have seen
That's true.
So at the end of The Amazing Colossal Man or whatever, he gets shot off. I don't even remember. It's been so long. Off the Hoover Dam.
Wait, I do remember that, I think.
So in this movie, half of his face is gone, and you can see his skull and his teeth, and he's got a scar on his shoulder. And this is like, most of the model kits of this character are from the sequel.
Yeah.
And so the first time you see him, he's walking around kind of, and you're like, is it going to get any better than this? And no, the answer is no, it does not get any better than this. Different actor plays him, which is why I guess they did the makeup like they did it. Half his face is gone. Yet they have a flashback scene with the original actor with scenes from the original movie. Okay. So it's really bad. And then spoiler number 2 for the end of this movie, when he gets killed, he gets electrocuted. Yeah. And when he grabs the wires, all of a sudden the movie's in color. Like, it was black and white. And I had never known this because I had never seen the movie before. And he grabs it. And he's, so.
That's actually kind of cool.
So anyway.
I like that. I don't think I've seen it since, like, Svengoolie when I was a kid. So I don't remember anything about it. I always thought it, when I see kids, I'm like, that's kind of dumb. But it's one of those things I think you had to be there to enjoy it.
Yeah, don't you wonder though, because I'm a sick bastard, I wonder on movies like that, like, what does this guy make a new fishing lake every time he pees? And like, when he craps, okay, where's the Amazing Colossal crap going? Okay. So anyway, enough of that.
Yeah.
So, but I at least saw a movie that I had not seen.
You did see a movie. That, like, congratulations. I saw 2. Well, I saw 1 movie and I've been watching a series. The movie I saw was Pig with Nicolas Cage. And I loved it a lot. I was going in thinking it was going to be John Wick, but with a pig. And it was John Wick, but the opposite of that.
See, I wouldn't know what that means because
you haven't seen John Wick.
There you go.
God damn it. I don't know how to explain this because I don't want to give anything away. But if you do see Pig, think of it going in as John Wick, but the opposite. If you've seen John Wick. John Wick likes to go in, his dog gets, spoilers, in the beginning of the first John Wick, his dog gets killed, and he goes after the people that killed his dog. And he goes after them hard, with violence. The opposite is this. And I loved Pig. It's really good. Please. There's no model kit potential. It's good. The other thing I've been watching is on Warhammer Plus, my Angels of Death series, and it is amazing.
I'm sure it is.
It's the only thing I don't like about it is each episode is only like 17 minutes long, and they're dragging the whole thing out forever because that's what they do on these services things. But
Not kind of like this show.
yeah. No, we go super long. We don't drag it. We drag it out, but we go way long. It's done in just black and white and red, and it looks so cool that way. So check it out. Warhammer Plus, Angels of Death, and Pig. Please watch Pig. I think it needs more people to see it. It's really, really good.
Well, I have something else that tweaked me.
Uh-oh.
So I was buzzing around on eBay. And I came across this auction. And I'm looking at this round base. And I go, boy, this looks familiar.
Oh, no.
And I went into my refrigerator and I pulled out the Tropicana orange juice.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And what this base is a lid to a Tropicana orange juice. That someone said, I'm going to pour rubber on this and cast it and sell them on eBay for $9 a piece. And according to this, he sold 10 of them. And I'm like,
it's not a bad base.
no, I've saved it for that reason. It looks like a drum.
Yeah.
Okay. And you'd have to sand on the top, which would be the bottom of this photo. I think it does say Tropicana. So you'd have to sand that off.
So you just put it on the belt sander and throw in rubber.
Gone. But, you know, I thought it was kind of cool. Let me try. Oh, wait, hold on.
Uh-oh. You just have one laying there?
I actually did, yes.
Okay. Ah, that's hilarious.
But they do say Tropicana.
Hey,
okay.
good for him. Or
and
her.
I'm like,
not
wow.
assuming gender again.
So, yeah.
Wait, how much is he selling it for?
$9.
Is that plus shipping?
Yeah, I'll send someone $5 for shipping. Oh no, free shipping too.
Okay, all right.
So
nice.
basically, because of what shipping is these days, he's probably making about $2 on these. Okay. And if you're gonna pay $9 for one of these, you know, I'm sorry, you know, and I never want to hurt anybody's sales, but go buy some fucking orange juice. Drink the orange juice. It's good for you.
Scott, this person may be a viewer. If they are, we want you on as a guest.
Sorry. Yeah, come on. I want to talk to you about this great idea. Okay, let's go. Enough. It was funny.
That's crazy. All right, news and reviews. Here we go.
News and reviews. So here we go. From Paul Gill. Wait, that's not Paul Gill again. Stop it. Just stop it, Jason. That's not Paul. That's his dog.
Sorry.
Okay, from Paul Gill, we have Amy from Fright Night. Now, I actually have like a little press release, so I'm going to read it.
A press release?
Yes. Sculpted by Mark Van Tine. Amy the Vampire, played by Amanda Burse, is easily the most recognizable monster in the film Fright Night. I wanted to portray her in all her sexy hideousness in this new quarter-scale bust. She's quarter-scale, I think you just said that, and stands a total of 10 inches tall on her Gothic architecture base, surrounded by screaming, tortured skulls and interchangeable front plate. Also, a signed certificate of authenticity with exclusive artwork will accompany each kit. We'll be adding all her friends throughout the coming months, so keep an eye out. Price is $100 plus shipping and handling. Kits will start shipping in October. PM Paul Gill, if interested.
So I was totally shocked when I found out one day that after watching this movie as a kid, she has a see-through shirt. You're like, oh, look, you can kind of see stuff. That it's Marcy from Married with Children. Like, the bird. But yeah, no, that's cool kit.
Okay.
Well done. All involved there. All right, next from Paul.
The next we have, well, it's actually from Jeff Yagher.
Oh, from Yagher. Okay.
But it'll be Paul casting it and everything.
Okay.
The next in the line of the Yagher Army. And this is Billy Bats, 1/6 scale Billy Bats. And I think we all know why it's Billy Bats. And
Yep.
actually, I think this is like the likeness is fantastic on this. Obviously, Mr. Lugosi in a bomber
Yeah, that's
thing. And cost on this is going to be $40 plus shipping and handling. And that's scheduled to ship sometime in October as well. And also, you can get a hold of Paul for that. And then Paul gave us a little sneak peek here of what will be the next in the Hammer line of busts. And this is Baron Meinster from The Brides of Dracula.
Have you seen The Brides of Dracula?
I have not seen The Brides of Dracula, but there's some nice looking Brides of Dracula.
Yes.
I believe there will be more in that series.
All right, we have this from Typhon Studios, Scott. This Millicent Patrick tribute piece, which is pretty gorgeous, sculpted by Jeff Yagher. Wow.
Yeah, this is really beautiful, and I don't want to basically go into a pissing contest. There's also a gentleman that did one in at Wonderfest. It was a full.
I think it was Sean Kyle.
Figure Sean Kyle, and it was really nice. Definitely. But man, this is really nice. I'm looking at the photo right now where she's kind of working on the head.
Yeah.
She's got her hand in the mask and stuff. And
I like the composition a lot. The way it flows.
This is really nice. And for those that don't know, she helped design the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I believe some other 50s monsters, if I'm not mistaken. So
I saw somebody comment on the thread, and it's my worry too, is she's wearing a pinstripe coat. So to paint that, you're painting pinstripes that are tiny, like tiny pinstripes. But there's ways to do it. But it's just
there's
things.
I see the actual photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's ways to do it. It's called Don't Do It.
Okay. But keep it in a box like Scott.
Well, either that or just do it.
Yeah.
Without. I mean, you got stripes, but man, they're very.
Yeah, they're tiny.
But really a nice piece.
Yeah, it is a nice piece. Really nice piece.
And what's funny is Mike sent me this earlier in the week. Don't show anybody yet. And then boom, it shows up on Facebook. So
we're putting it up.
Mike, if we weren't supposed to, we apologize. But I figured once it's on Facebook, it's kind of fair game.
It's fair game
for us because we're
thieves. Yeah, we're bad. The last thing I want to talk about is Kendall Conniff has sent us in a bunch of stuff we'll talk about later in the episode, but he did send this picture in, and I had seen it like the exact same moment he had sent it in. This is a Sergio Calvo paint job. And if you're not following on Instagram, please check him out. Amazing paint jobs. And this is a miniature from, it's not really miniature because it's a little bigger than, I think it's like 1/12 scale maybe or something, from Black Sun Miniatures. And just check that paint job out. It's just killer. Absolute killer paint job. So I wanted to spotlight that. Sergio Calvo. Follow him on Instagram. Good stuff.
And are these I'm looking, these almost got to be 3D rendered. I mean,
I don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just the stuff they crank out for when you go to Wonderfest and you don't see this. I'm not gonna put. Okay, the workbench, Scott.
The workbench.
The workbench. What you been working on, Scott?
Well, of course, what have I been working on? I've been working on 3D printing because I'm a maniac.
You are a maniac. Okay. How many have you cranked out this week? What's going on?
3 or 4.
Okay.
I don't know. I know when you stopped by, didn't we do a count? And I
think we did.
I've bought 28 files and I've printed like 25 of them already.
Nice.
And actually, when this one's done, and let's see if we can guess who it is. Frankenstein Jr. And he is called Frankenstein. Okay. Anyway, then I'll have one more left. But I know that the gentleman that we're going to highlight here in a few minutes has got more coming, so I'm sure it'll cost me some more money. And
excellent.
doesn't just cost me money for files, it costs me money to buy the resin and everything else. So
Yeah, it is not a cheap side of the hobby. I can attest to that. So what have you printed? What's he got coming out new that you printed already?
That I've printed already? Well, I've printed Secret Squirrel and
Which
Morocco
just came out,
Mole,
right?
which just came out, I think, last Saturday.
Okay.
And because I've developed a little friendship, he gave me like a sneak preview and said, "Yeah, this is coming out Saturday." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." And so Saturday, all day Saturday, I'm clicking on CG Trader to like, is it out yet? Is it out? Has this number gone up yet? And as soon as it did, bam, I went and bought it. And he was also nice enough to send me this Saturday's, which we can show now because by the time this airs, it'll be out. And that'll be Peter Ponimus and So from the Hippo Hurricane Holler. And we'll put that photo up here as well. And so that'll be coming. That's not on the photos we'll show later yet. I really love this guy's work. There's like two guys I bought all my files from. It's one of two guys. It's Diego that we showed a couple episodes back, and that we're gonna highlight a little bit here. We'll talk about some 3D printing stuff that I want to touch on too.
Okay.
And maybe I can touch on it now as long as we're here with Secret Squirrel.
Okay. That'll work. Let's put it in here.
A lot of people have contacted both of us about 3D printing stuff for them.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's really hard. And the reason it's hard is because we both want to print our own stuff. Okay. And so I just want to give a quick rundown on the Secret Squirrel. Okay. I believe the file was $23 US dollars. Okay.
Yes.
$23. And
wait, are we going to do math?
I'm going to do the math. Don't worry.
Okay.
And because the slicer program will figure out cost for us.
It does. Thank God.
We're looking at about $11 in resin. Okay. So you're $44 in before you even start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a lot of people want to call us and just spend the $44 and have us print it for them. And that's great if I have nothing else going in the world. Okay. But what this does, again, what people don't understand is this ties up your printer for approximately 17 hours. Just this piece. Okay. Not to mention you probably spend 2 hours of your own time putting the supports on all the pieces and hoping you don't get a fail. In the case of the Secret Squirrel, I did get a fail and I had to redo the body. So 17 hours now, what I've been kind of told, and man, if there's people out there that know better, please tell us. I've been told $3 to $4 an hour for printing, if that's what you charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've heard too.
So that would be $68. Okay. In print cost, or in charging to do this, whatever, fair market, whatever.
Which covers your, that's a price I think and it's the same with pricing art. You kind of never know how to do it. But you have to figure into that cost all the incidentals as well. Gloves, cleaner, feb sheets, alcohol,
electricity,
like all this stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you just said, paper towels.
Paper towels, you go through like water.
People that don't 3D print don't realize the amount of paper towels and the amount of denatured alcohol or whatever you're using to clean it, you go through. The time that you have to spend cleaning up. Okay. Each print, you have to take about 4 minutes. I've started to time it now, just to stir the resin in the vat because it starts to break up a little bit. So you got to stir it up before you start your next print.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things I hate the most about it. Okay.
I kind of like it. I don't know why.
Dude, it's a pain in the ass.
I like watching it swirl.
Then the curing time, and the thing is, we spent the $500 on the printer. We spent the $200 on the wash and cure station. Okay. You spent the money on the alcohol and all the supplies that you need. I'm guessing we're each $1,000 in before we even started printing.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's not that I don't want to print for people. I will. And now, so in the case of the secret squirrel, if someone approached me, and I have been approached by a few people to print this for them. Now, I want to explain something. The artist only gets, and we'll touch on this
in emails,
I think, in an email that we got, but all the artist that rendered this gets is the money he gets for the file. So if I print it for you, it's not that they have a problem with me printing it for you, but I'm going to make you buy that file. I'm going to make you spend that $23, and you're going to send me that file, even though I already have it. You're going to send me that file to show me you bought that file and supported the artist. Okay. Now, in the case of this, I would probably knock the price down because I've already got this file supported. So I don't have that time into it. At this point, it's a plug and play for me. Go down, plug it in, pour resin in the vat, and hit the button. But, it's still, when all is said and done, and this is why I bought a 3D printer, it cost me $44. But if someone wants me to do it for them, it's going to be more because it's there's things into it.
And I hope people.
And I'm not trying to be a cheap ass.
No.
And I used to get this when I first started resin casting years ago. Well, that resin kit's only $10 worth of resin, and that might be true. Okay, but you've paid a sculptor, you've molded it. Okay, you've taken your time to cast it. You've done whatever. If you've taken
there's
out.
There's also people need. There's an expertise fee as well. Mm-hmm. I think that, and I know artists they include that. It took you time to learn how to do everything, and some of that needs to be figured in as well.
So,
and we're not bitching. I don't want to sound like we're bitching, but we just want everyone to know that if
you get a price,
there's going to be.
Well, and I've had some guys come to me with prices where they've been told like $300.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you go and you look at the kit, and sometimes you can look at it and it'll tell you the breakdown. You got to get back to these people and say it's really not a bad price.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if it's like a 30 print or 30 part print, and
I have a lot of friends in this hobby, and I don't mind doing friends a favor.
No.
Okay. At all, but at some point, I gotta. Now, again, I might get more lenient when there's nothing out there for me to print, and my printer's sitting down there doing nothing. I'm going to be more apt to want to help you out. But thanks to my friend Uel here, that don't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. Matter of fact, I might need money. So send money. So anyway. Again, not bitching, not complaining. I thought it was a good segue into kind of explaining it to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other side of that is, on my workbench end of it, my 3D printer broke. I came down after printing something for somebody, and I touched it and it was hot. And I was like, what? That's not right. And the motherboard burned out. And so now I'm waiting 10 to 20 days for a motherboard to show up from Elegoo because it's still under warranty, but I'm down. I have nothing to do. So what I've done I don't have pictures because there's really nothing to show. I took every print that I've printed so far that was in parts and did a ton of sanding and just built and primed a bunch of stuff. I want to get to regular painting again here, but I wanted to just get my bench back because there was just nothing but parts and crazy stuff.
I've got bins everywhere full of parts, and
then that was one of it. So the one thing I did finally build, this is one of the first things I printed, and this was like a limited edition tribute piece. This is a Ninja Turtle. Look at this fucking thing. So this is all the Ninja Turtles, and this one I don't think you can even buy the file anymore because it was a limited tribute thing. It is coming out on a Patreon thing, I think, in parts, but this was like, I don't even know what to say about this. It is so cool. I am gonna just faux bronze this because I think to me this looks like a statue. There's so much going on. I don't want to put all of them in there. I am gonna print Leo again and and paint that one. But man, how cool! The other thing I printed, and again, we're getting away from garage kits more and more, which bothers me because I want to keep garage kits, but there's just not as much. I did this Beholder, which has this tongue that comes out of his mouth, and really cool. But a lot of stuff printed. That was my workbench, just basically getting stuff off the bench and ready to paint.
And we are not trying to get away from garage kits at
No,
all.
we're not. It's just
It seems like a very slow time.
it does seem really slow. It really does. There's some stuff coming out, but man,
Well, and again, I've heard some people say to me it's the Paul Gill show, and it's like, well, Paul's putting stuff out.
yeah, he is.
Okay. And
Trying.
Paul is also sending us stuff.
He does.
And when I say sending us stuff, well, he does send us stuff for giveaways, which is
Yeah.
great. But
It's like this episode has turned into just a clean house episode. This is how we're functioning.
But
right
anyway, Paul's continuing to put new stuff out. And right now it seems like everyone else is kind of stagnant from what I've seen.
And I've had a hard time in the last couple of weeks getting online and looking for things actively. I need to be better at that. It's just been we've got a lot going on here in Illinois. And this episode is more of just it's going to be short. We promise. Sort of.
I came up with a great idea.
I'll be the judge of that.
I think. Are you done with your work?
Yeah, I'm done.
You got enough. Okay.
So the workbench is over. Let's do our little strange interview that you got here.
It is a strange interview.
Okay.
And I'll start it out by saying that this gentleman, Uel Winner, and I love the pun on winner because he's a winner of a sculpt. He's a winner of a sculpture. And so I've been buying a bunch of his files.
So how did you did you just email him and say, hey, dude, your stuff's great, and he just got back to you, or?
Right. Well, one thing, and again, if people are buying files, I'm going to try to make this quick to not bore all the garage kit guys, but a lot of them do seem interested. CG Trader is where I have exclusively bought files. There's other places, but I have bought exclusively here because that's where I found what I like the most of. And this gentleman and the gentleman we featured a couple episodes ago are both doing the best cartoon kits that I've seen out there. And so in the process, you can send them messages and you can leave them feedback. And I will say, if you buy something from these guys, leave them feedback, because the more feedback they get, when they get to a certain amount, that's less that's more money they'll get in the end.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
At least that's what the one gentleman told me. So make sure you leave feedback, even if you bought 20 kits from the guy. So, I leave feedback on every kit once it's printed. And I've messaged him a few times and sent him pictures of the printed pieces. And I don't know if he has a printer, but I know the last guy at Diego didn't even have a printer. And I'm like, you're making all this beautiful stuff and you don't even have a printer. And both of these guys are from Brazil. And so I reached out to Uel and I said, hey, we've got this show. I want to feature your work. Are you okay with that? And he's like, yeah, that'd be great. And so he sent me some information. And with the information he sent me, I then wrote him and said, hey, can I ask a few questions? Will you answer them? And he said, sure. And he was nice enough to answer them in a very unique way, which we'll show here in a minute. I want to briefly go over his quick email to me.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it as he wrote it and understand. He is from Brazil, from Sierra, which is in Fortaleza.
Okay.
And
I hope he understands we're two idiots from Chicago that can't talk either.
From Chicago. Okay. But so he sent me this letter.
I barely speak English, so
well, and when you do, it's so hi, my friend Scott. How are you? I'm sending these reports about myself. My name is Uel Winner. I was born and live in Brazil, a beautiful country. He talks a little about who it's ruled by right now, and he's not happy, and that's all we'll say about that. He's 45 years old. He was born on Christmas Day, December
He's
25th,
like my age.
1975.
Yeah, I'm a 74 baby. Good. More people my age.
The state I live in Brazil is called Ceará, and my city is Fortaleza, which is the capital, I believe, of Ceará. I'm the father of 2 children, one 12, the other 5. They both already love the cartoon universe. I have my wife who has supported me for 20 years with my crazy cartoons. I really love the cartoon universe. I'm a character designer and animator, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional. With all this confusion that is in the world, and especially in my country, I try to survive with dignity by producing art in archives for collectors. I believe I will still achieve professional stability through what I do best, modeling and animating. Started drawing when he was 5 years old, and since then I haven't stopped. In 2017, I won an art and animation contest held by Toon Boom Animation Canada in honor of Canada's 150th anniversary. And with this growth of 3D printing around the world, I found a way to make a living, which is to produce STLs for 3D printing. For the time being, I am not proficient in fluent English, but I will take a course so that we can converse freely. And I think he's
Don't do
done.
that.
Don't do that. And this letter's fine. So
it's already better than half the emails I get.
I'm immensely happy for the support you give my work. If I have a desire to get rich doing what I love, yes. Ha ha ha. A big hug, Scott, to you and your guys. Best wishes, Uel Winner. Okay. He's given us his Instagram. He's given us this art.
All right, we'll put that all up there,
and we're going to put it all
yep.
on there at the end. He's got a YouTube channel, which you can actually close caption in English, so you can watch it if you want.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And he sent us a couple pictures of himself, and he cracks me up because he reminds me of Anthony.
He does a little bit. There is some Mestis in there.
Okay. So, with that, we'll put up some pictures, and this is the CG Trader. These are the 60 models he currently has on here.
Okay.
And if you want bigger images, you can go to CG Trader, look him up. And a lot of times he shows the parts breakdown and everything. And there's a Scooby-Doo collection that's fantastic.
I want that Muttley. I want the Muttley.
The Muttley, and I don't know if you can see that there. He's done one of the Dastardly and his Flying Machines. And you might, if you're on my Facebook page, you'll recognize a lot of these I've printed and done. I'm looking at Penelope Pit Stop. I still have to get the Dastardly and Muttley characters.
Oh, wait. Is there a Teenage Pebbles?
No, Pebbles. I think I saw one somewhere, though. But I know what you're talking about.
I had the biggest crush on Teenage Pebbles when I was a kid.
What was amazing to me about Uel was, man, he really dug up some obscure Hanna-Barbera characters.
Yeah.
Touche Turtle. Lippy the Lion and Hardy Har Har. Okay. These are not everyday. Ricochet Rabbit. Maybe Ricochet Rabbit's more everyday, but it's still, So I'm printing the Frankenstein Jr. right now. It's huge. So anyway, I wrote him some questions. And then I'll give you the questions. And as I give the questions, I believe I have his answers in order here in our slideshow. Jason can pop them up. And then I'll read his answer as well, just for those that are listening. But I just thought it was cool that this is how he sent his answers to us. And it was really so. His original intention was to answer them in a video, but he just ran out of time. And he was going to answer them in English on a video. So I wrote to him. I said, how were you introduced to some of these classic cartoons that came out before you were born? And a lot of these cartoons started in the early 60s, So what he told us is around 82, Hanna-Barbera used to dominate Brazilian television with cartoons. So he was about 7 years old and facing the television, trying to draw characters he loved and still loves: The Impossibles, Muttley, Scooby Doo, Captain Caveman, and many others. So I thought that's so cool.
But I mean,
That
that's when I was, because me and him are the same age. When I was a kid, those were on TV all the time still. Even though they were about 10, 15 years old by that time, they were on TV all the time when I was little.
Well, what I discovered was I saw a YouTube video about Hanna-Barbera. Now, Ted Turner bought the Hanna-Barbera stuff to show on Cartoon Network, which he owned. So you were probably started to, well, that was still pre-cable though, when you guys were
No,
that
yeah,
age.
I'm talking in the 70s. Like when,
Yeah.
like, which
And
sounds
they used to
weird
show it
saying
after
that.
school. Yeah, they had the
Yeah.
McGilla Gorilla show here.
Yeah, all that. I remember Ricochet Rabbit all the time. Like that Adam Ant was on all the time.
Yep.
All that stuff.
Okay. So I then asked, did you go to any type of art school or are you self-taught? And he replied, I'm completely autodidact, which I'm assuming is self-taught. Okay. He grew up among 7 siblings, and his father was the only one with a job, so he wouldn't have money to invest in his talent. His school was a bunch of comics of Disney, Marvel, and Hanna-Barbera on TV. And only now as an adult has he had some technical courses in 3D rendering and stuff. So to me, this is amazing talent. This is God-given talent. You know, to just be able to do that. I asked him, what program do you use for 3D sculpting? ZBrush, Blender. He answered he uses ZBrush. It's a magnificent tool, but I like to switch from ZBrush to Blender or Maya.
Maya.
Okay.
Yep.
And I then asked him, why do you prefer cartoon? Actually, Jason, that was your question.
Yeah.
When I told you I was going to send some questions. Great question. I identify myself with cartoons. They're funny, charismatic, full of body movement. Seems a lot like me. Okay. And you can tell by the photo.
Yeah.
Wells got some personality here for sure.
Dude, we got to go to Brazil.
Really awesome. I asked him, I said, you mentioned in your biography that you were making a living selling STL files. Which one's been your biggest seller and how many of that one have you sold? Yes, selling STLs has helped me during the pandemic. I do have the desire to keep making STLs, but sometimes I make some animations, shirt stamps, and illustrations. The competition is great among the STL market, so I seek to make that my works are always attractive and original. There are months that I can sell around 12 STL files, which doesn't seem like a lot considering, you know, if that's the case, I bought a month worth in the last month for sure. And Jamie just bought the Frankenstein Jr. So I sent some business your way.
Yeah, I'm coming too. I'm coming.
So he didn't tell us which one was his biggest seller yet, but you know, it's he's doing it. So I ask another question, and this is one, you know, we've talked about with Tony. Do you worry about people just reselling, stealing your files, or do you think that if they're priced right, people will just buy them rather than look for them elsewhere? Another excellent question, my friends. I always try to be fair in the values of my files because it's not being exclusive. It's a product on the shelf, and whoever wants it can buy it. But if a customer asks me to do something exclusively for him, I think of a fair budget to the order, and I still give him the following options: exclusive value, where I will not put in my online store to sell, or half the budget amount and put them in my online store. Recently, a client from Saudi Arabia ordered something exclusive from me. It cost him 420 euros. I did the math, it's about $500. I did it, and he was very happy. Image in the attachment, and there it is. It's a Sinbad figure there.
Nice.
People with no vision buy their models and share them for free. People of vision help the artist and end up having a bond with him, earning respect and credits. I have even received some messages from competitors asking how how's my production workflow? Ha ha ha. Maybe in the future I will develop some course, which honestly won't be cheap at all.
People with vision. I love that. That he nails it.
But he is so right. And again,
don't be an asshole. Is what it boils down to. Have vision. Support.
Okay. Support this guy. It's that easy. If you like cartoon kits like I do, okay, and then pay someone to print it for you. If you don't want to buy a printer, you don't want to invest all that money in the printer, and then as we talked about earlier, you're gonna have to pay somebody to print it. But you look at some of these and if they were garage kits, what would you be paying for them?
A lot.
Okay, and maybe I'm out of whack on the printing charge, and maybe we'll revisit that in a future episode. But
I don't think you're that far out.
And again, so my last question was, I come from what they call here in the US and other countries the garage kit hobby. Lots of kits based on classic movie monsters, sci-fi, etc. Are there any subjects you want to do in the future that are not animated? And his answer is, in fact, everything in my life is centered on what I do, animation. I want to get to my best self yet. I want to do exhibitions, provide services for large toy producers and collectibles. And I still want to go to the United States. I believe that a lot of good things will happen until I get into my 50s. Yeah, that's when everything starts to freeze up and you get old. Trust me.
Maybe not in Brazil. Maybe like the weather down there is better.
So I just thought, and again, you'll see these screen grabs. This is how he answered us. I just thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Even his answers were artistic.
Yeah. Thank you, Will.
There was some.
Oh man.
And then Will included a little something for us that he called a gift.
Oh.
And there's two of the most handsome guys. He ought to do a 3D model of us.
Oh no, don't do that.
But make me but make me skinny and make him fat.
Oh.
But we love this, and thank you so much for this. And
that is really cool.
That's again, when he talked about the competition in STLs, I'm going to tell you, I'm not trying to put anybody's work down, but between and Diego, the other guy that I bought from, and there's a few odds and ends that I bought that Looney Tunes piece. It's a bunch of pieces.
Yeah.
These guys are heads and tails above the rest, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. There's a lot of, and you'll find if you go on CG Trader, there's a lot of very average stuff.
There is.
I'm not trying to knock anybody, but it's, you should know where you're at, and a guy, I believe, knows where he's at, and I need like Tony Cipriano knows where he's at. Okay.
And you get that. I mean, put that in garage kit context. There's, who your good garage kit guys are, and you know who the guys are just okay. And those sculpts aren't as good. And I equate it to, if you think back to like the real early days of garage kits when things were kind of wonky and stiff and, the hands were real chubby, fat fingers. And there's a lot of that when you look on CD Trade, like of people who are not are still learning how to do this. And then they put it up for sale anyway, hoping that someone will buy it. There's a lot of that going on, but
not as much as the early days.
No,
in the early days, people would throw.
Yeah, as far as garage kits now, it's weeded out. You have your 5-10 guys that are doing everything. But thank you, Will. That this is really cool. Hopefully we do get to meet one day and we'll have you on personally and maybe even come visit. Or if you want to come visit here, we'll see. That's awesome. I love that drawing. Makes me look good.
Yeah.
You actually look good in that picture.
I do look good.
Your haircut.
I only have one chin. I only have one chin there.
We're gonna fix that. I'm gonna get a marker.
I'm gonna fix you.
I hide my chins with that. My lack of chin. Actually. That's great.
So seems like a super great guy. Seems like a lot of fun. Loves the same stuff I do.
You found a brother. That's really...
I send him a want list all the time, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm spending money. Here you go. Make it rain.
God. Oh yeah, Scott's
making it rain. Here you go. Make it rain.
Climb that pole. Get up there.
But
oh man,
it's doing some beautiful work.
Yeah, it is.
I'll continue to buy. Like I said, the Peter Potamus, of course, will be on my list. And he's got some other stuff that it's just not subject matter I'm interested in, but it's still really nice.
Mhm.
So, like the He-Man stuff.
I like the He-Man.
Stuff
I like
grew up.
He-Man. So
Yeah. So,
that's great. That was really cool.
and then at the end here, this is a little message he recorded for us.
Hi, Scotty, Jason. Thanks for the invite, man.
And there we are. So again, thanks, Uel.
Thank you, Uel.
And he also, I had no idea how to pronounce his name, so he sent me an MP4 how to pronounce his name. Because I'm looking at Uel, and I'm like, Uel.
Hey, Portuguese is weird. I don't know how to do any Portuguese.
Yeah,
So.
and so it sounds like in English well, but I think if you really look in the pronunciation, it's more like Uel. You know, when you say it fast, it does sound like well. But if you probably really enunciate it, it's probably Uel. You know, but when you say it fast, it's well. And we're not making fun of the man's name at all. It's you know, what a great guy. Thanks for helping out. I'll continue to support him. If you're a 3D printer and you like his stuff, support him. If you want us to print some of his stuff, I might even give you a little discount if you support the guy. Because there you go.
Look at you. You have a big heart. Emails and corrections, Scott. So the Monsters kit we shared last episode, and we're going to kind of keep this brief, was apparently not painted by the person who
posted
it. So we don't know who painted that kit. So thank you for sharing the picture of the kit, but we don't know who actually painted it. If anyone knows who built and painted that Monsters kit, we would love to give them credit. So please let us know if you know. If you don't know, we're trying.
Another correction.
Yeah, we'll make another correction. We're trying. We want to get that cleared up. Who actually built and painted that? So
if you call Shanna Worthling Shayna one more time, she's gonna fucking.
What am I doing?
Calling her Shayna. You called her Shayna last episode. Yes, you did.
Okay.
I
am from up here where my A's are long.
Shayna. No, Shanna.
That hurts to say.
It's going to hurt you more if you don't say it.
Okay.
Frankly, I think Shanna can kick your ass.
Oh, I know she could. I know she could.
Right?
Shanna.
So,
Shanna. That's hard to say.
She's putting. No, it's not hard to say.
Yes, it is.
No, then you're.
It's Shayna.
You've got a speech impediment.
I do.
Isn't news.
It's called Southside. That's my impediment.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting rid of that, we have a solution to the mumbling emails.
This ought to be good.
We have voicemail now. We're going to try this and see if it works. So instead of, you can still send an email if you wish, but we have a phone number, and that phone number is 708-816-4299. I got 42 on purpose. I picked that one. So 708-816-4299 if you want to leave us a voicemail. And hopefully I can play the voicemail next episode and not have to read an email. This may solve a lot of the boring reading and my mumbling.
Yeah, who's ever given us the thumbs down, leave a voicemail.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be cool. So again, 708-816-4299. That is our phone number. Leave us a voicemail. Let's see how it goes. If you want to leave us an email, it is modelclubtv@gmail.com.
Make the voicemails real long because
try and
Jake
keep them short.
It has to listen to them and figure out how to put them all in the computer. So
it should be easy. It should be just pressing a button. Anyway, but that's how the last hour went and it didn't work. So behind the scenes fun. Our first email is from Logan Torres. And to paraphrase, they're kind of long, so I'm going to kind of shorten them up here a bit. He watched some videos of the IPMS show and the vendor room and said it was very sparsely attended, it looked like, vendors and people. And he said it's the same thing over and over. Airplanes, boats, tanks, all that sort of stuff. All he finds are people that have boxes stacked ceiling high. and no one really builds anything. They just collect the boxes of stuff, which, I mean, people on our side do that as well. And he said the baby boomers. What?
Is that wrong?
What? No, it's not.
Is it wrong?
No. The baby boomers are not getting any younger, and us Gen X and younger don't want this kind of thing. And Atlantis reproducing the airplane visible engine, oh goody, just what I never wanted, and a host of other things I've never wanted. So they can produce that, but cancel all their Freddy Flypogger kits. Not too swift. It's a shame a hobby is founded on horrible parts of our histories and a positive thing. To keep this type of hobby going, selling paints and accessories. This little figure kit hobby we have was not founded on wars, just nostalgia. You can put this on your show. So he's kind of upset with subject matter and do a little more positive thing. His other email, wanting to be stuck in the past. Yeah, maybe some people don't want to relive their childhood being locked in their room, building model kits using that horrible airplane cement and using enamel paints. Maybe you want a cheap way to get high. You know it's the truth. I was smelling paint the other day. I kind of get it. Being stuck, you can't go forward. Yes, this goes for Mr. Scott, aka Movie Wuss, as George said.
Did George call me a movie wuss?
I guess he did.
That's all right.
3D printing is moving forward not without risk, but risks are few compared to what's now available, which would never be available because of risk and being stuck, single-minded and trapped in one's nostalgia. Al Matrone needs to find a buyer for Geometric. He's dragged his feet and made multiple excuses over and over. You allow yourself to be helpless because it's easier to do than move past the barricades in front of you. George was a great guest. I'm sure he has more stories. Now, next show, we get to watch Scott paint something. Jason needs some meditation music instead of Psycho Gorman because being a teacher is very difficult.
I understand what he's saying, but what's funny is the Freddy Flypogger kid he's upset is also a baby boomer kid. Okay, it's just
I don't even know what that is. So
yeah, so it's still also a baby boomer type kit.
I'll try and find a picture and put it up here because I have no
50
idea.
years old that's buying plastic styrene models is not the norm. Okay,
Nope.
So these companies do any kind of research, they're going to see that there's still a want for the nostalgia of the old kits and the World War II stuff. And there's also figure modelers are just so small. And the military modelers that are out there outnumber us by tens of thousands, I'm sure.
And I think his point over the last few emails he sent, how long is that going to last, though? Like,
till we start dying off.
I mean, the military guys are in their 80s and 70s. They aren't going to be around much longer at all. And that military stuff's gone. It just is. Like, there's no one that's going to, the one kid I have at school, his grandpa is who he builds model kits with. He's the one kid I know that builds models, and he does cars. And I know his grandpa does planes and stuff, but no one cares about that stuff at all when it comes to kids stuff. So who knows?
Well, it's like anything else. You know, any more kids, Gen X, whatever you want to say, they're saving all their photographs on hard drives or flash drives or whatever. Photo albums are going to be a thing of the past. What's going to happen to all these photo albums that people like your parents have, my parents had, that now I have? It's all the kids don't want to save this stuff. There's no attachment. Like, I don't know. It was some weird attachment in the 50s and 60s that the baby boomers latched on to the monster stuff and the, cartoons and stuff like that. I don't know, get it, but and then there's some weird attachment that we want to go back and relive it. And yeah, I get it, but it's weird, but I don't know. Without branching out into stuff like you say, the miniatures, the Warhammer, and stuff like that, the garage kid hobby might just.
It's going to blend into everything else. It's going to go away. It is.
And I remember Steve did an interview one time, Steve Rojas, basically saying, this is our hobby. This is our stuff. This is, and I think when he said our, he was referring mainly to baby boomers and the early Gen X's, This is our stuff. This is our hobby. And it's not something that's going to keep going.
Yeah, I agree with him.
50 years from now, an Aurora model kit is probably going to be worthless because nobody's going to care.
Yeah. I think you're right. So everyone sell your stuff quick. It's time. It's time or you're going to lose that.
Or enjoy it while you got it.
Or enjoy it while build it. How about this? Build it.
Well, yeah, and I've always said that. Don't worry about the value of something. If you're buying something to make money on it, you're buying it for the wrong reason.
Yeah. All right. Phil
who?
Phil Kupka. Hey guys, just finished watching episode 29. The best part of this episode was the interview with the Honorable Judge George Stevenson. I've known George since I met him at the first Wonderfest, formerly known as the Louisville Toy and Model Show. And without a doubt, he has always been one of the most moral, ethical, friendly persons I have ever met. And yes, Your Honor, I do speak from the heart when I say that my years working for geometric design was the best job I ever had. Scotty, you were right about me doing vinyl work for Geo. A few times of getting vinyl fragments stuck in the molds, I thought it best that I stick to slinging resin and performing my other duties there. Jason, or should I call you Jesus, I too am half Polish on my dad's side and Irish on my mom's side. Man, I found out I was Irish too after cursing the Irish for years, which was not good. Yeah. As a matter of fact, back when they were the thing, I used to tell them all the time. Sad to say, though, Jason, I never got into traveling bondage with an electric fly swatter. I never knew that was a thing, an electric fly swatter, that is, and I never collected dead things in jars of alcohol. To each his own. Enough said this time, and Phil sends in some more kits for the gallery.
I love how the traveling bondage show.
Okay, hey guys, this is from Greg. This is from Greg Damian. Hey guys, a little late on writing you about episode 28, but have to comment a little about it here. Scott's rant about feet has to be one of the craziest and funniest things I ever heard. I'd rather have hooves than feet, which I think is still probably the best sentence that's ever been on this show. I just may use that as my new ringtone. Brilliant. Also fell off the couch listening to Jason's bloody painting exploit. You guys just keep getting better and better. Suicide Squad loved it and loved Ratcatcher 2. Glad she made it through for a sequel. Spoilers. Sorry. As for the Chicago get-together, I'm all in on that. I will finally meet you guys, or do I want to? No. There definitely has to be a lot more modelers in the Chicago area for sure. And getting together to talk shop or movies or whatever. I'm retired and time is free. Now for episode 29. Totally loved the interview with George. He is just a fountain of information and ideas. I first met George back in the late 90s at Chiller when I picked up several of his micro minis when he was running Geometric. The next time I saw and spoke to him was at Adepticon 2019 and was surprised to see him there since it wasn't a garage kit event and more for gamers. Found out now he ran Blackheart and was branching out into the miniature modelers of the gaming world, which I think was a great move. I bought several more of his new micro mini creations and got my juices flowing again to go to Wonderfest that same year. I guess I owe George a big thank you for deciding to kick myself in the rear and get back to doing this wonderful hobby. Many times I have mulled over getting one of his 1/1 scale wall hanger or a bust, but have so far backed off since space is an issue for me. Thus, the minis are perfect. Love the Exorcist bust, and even though it is big, I plan on getting one of them. I think I have more of George's kits than Yagher's, but it's close. Close. Keep up the good work and let me know when the barbecue will be. We're still working on that.
Again, Chicago area people, get a hold of us. We're running out of warm weather.
Yeah, we could do it in January. That'd be fun.
Yeah, your house.
All right, from Marty Nero. Hello, Jason and Scott. Episode 29 was a blast to watch, but first I want to offer my condolences to Tom and the passing of his wife. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you and your family, Tom. Best song, Frig Off. Really, Jason? Haha, I guess we all have different tastes in basically everything. Me, well, hands down, my all-time favorite song is the Edgar Winter group, Frankenstein. No surprise, right? Jason, loved what you did for the 3D printing of Legend. Beautiful, subtle work indeed. Congratulations. Scott, that Looney Tunes 3D printing looks amazing. I'm so happy that you are doing more and more stuff, and man, they all look incredible. You seem to be having a lot of good fun doing these kits. Good for you, buddy. Oh, I love the new feature, Guest Workbench. Gary seems like a really nice guy and showed us an amazing collection of very rare kits. That war machine is brilliant. His studio looks amazing. Love the idea of showing our work area or studios, possibly a future addition to the show. We got no one. If you would like to be a guest on Guest Workbench, let us know. We had no one bite on that. So
if you'd like to be a guest as a producer, let us know.
Yeah, anything. Guess we're still. We have some lined up. We have a few lined up, but always looking for more. I love the interview with George. Great interview, respectful, insightful, intelligent. I enjoyed the part where George discussed his first awareness of the other side, the mini modeler crowd. Fascinating. The whole idea of them being more outspoken, more extroverted, while we, the resin heads, being more introspected. I love topics like this. Hey, Scott, don't worry about not seeing all those films, man. I still haven't seen so many films, including The Wizard of Oz. What? Hold on. Scott, have you seen The Wizard of Oz?
Many times.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I rambled enough. Love what you two are doing, bringing the community together. That 2 hours just flew by. Thanks, Marty. Appreciate it.
I believe it was 2.5, Marty, but thanks.
Yeah. Felt like 2. And this is from...
Marty's just being nice because I'm going to do some printing for him. Just kidding, Marty. Just kidding.
This email is from Chris Greer and Gear. And he left a comment in the last episode about Star Wars models. That we don't talk about Star Wars models enough. So I said, hey, send them in. And he did. So in the viewers gallery, there's going to be a bunch of Star Wars kits from Chris. Let me rewrote. Hi, this is Hayes from the YouTube comment on the show. My real name is Chris Gear, and I am from Cologne, Germany. Yes, that's certainly true. In Star Wars model making, it's less about figures or busts. Here, it's really more about spaceships and vehicles, but here, too, there are some garage kit manufacturers, such as, for example, Randy Cooper has been doing this for decades. But the classic garage kits are more or less a thing of the past, with Star Wars model making even more so than with the kits that you usually deal with. Of course, there are still garage kits available, but these days there are more digital garage kits, mainly because of the production of a classic screen-accurate mold or cast resin kit is so much more complex and, above all, so much more expensive. I assume that you have a vague idea of how the Star Wars studio models back in the 70s, 80s have arisen. Example, to build a master sandcrawler with all the original Donner parts from a very rare tank model kits from which you can then make molds cost between $10,000 to $20,000. That I was not aware of. The modern garage kits are computer designed and printed on industrial SLA resin printers in China. Of course, there are still a few enthusiasts who manufacture garage kits the good old-fashioned way, but then such a kit costs as much as a used car. Anyway, both of these kits are way too expensive for me. I build everything that fits my budget. I pimp vintage model kits, scratch build some dioramas, did toy conversions, or print some figures. Have attached a few pictures of my models. Please feel free to share them on the show, and we will. And that's a whole, there aren't a lot of Star Wars models. There really aren't. There's always, you get Darth Mauls, you get Yodas. But other than Stan,
Darth Vader's, you do
get your Darth Vader. But I mean, you have this whole universe. There's so many creatures, monsters, and you just don't see them in garage kits. And I don't know why. And I think it goes back to the boomer thing, maybe. That's more of a Gen X thing, is it?
Probably, because you were, what, 2 when Star Wars hit the theaters?
I was 3.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it in the theater, part of it. I remember the trench run, vividly as a memory, being in the theater, seeing that.
Yeah, there's, Bandai has really stepped up and made
yes, they have.
Beautiful Star Wars kits. And prior to them, fine molds. The thing about sci-fi ship kit modelers, they are such sticklers for detail.
Yeah.
That I don't want to say it's crazy because it's what they do. And to give you an example, the Bandai Millennium Falcon is the Millennium Falcon from the first movie, but it has the cockpit from Empire Strikes Back. And I know people that drives absolutely banana.
See, here's
I
the thing.
could care less.
I
Okay.
didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes. Yes. And there's people
Wait,
that,
hold on. The cockpits are different in the movies?
yes,
I had no idea.
the ship is different. The ship in Empire Strikes, the Millennium Falcon in Empire Strikes Back is actually different than A New Hope. Yes.
Different, like,
I think it's like thicker, it's just
okay.
there's differences. I'm not saying it's totally different.
It wasn't like Han added a pipe here and they're like, oh, you can't.
No, but probably the people that go through it frame by frame can tell you the differences. I can't. I remember going to the Museum of Science and Industry when they had the Star Wars exhibit. I went with Thad and the late Matt Clemens, and standing in front of this 3-foot Millennium Falcon model, which was just awesome to see it in person.
Well, which one did we go to? Was it the same show?
No, but it was similar, the
Okay.
one we went to in Indianapolis. And Matt Clemens stood in front of this model and basically said, that's from this tank and that's from this model kit, because Matt was a military modeler as well. And so he knew what everything was and what models it came off of. And it was amazing, And looking at that time, Phantom Menace had just come out and they had one of the pod racer models. And as I'm looking at it close, I can see, oh yeah, that was a fan belt from a car model. I don't know what car model, but you just see how they would incorporate things. And
it's cool when they do that stuff. I really like that. That's
wonder, what do they just have? Endless shelves of model kits. And what do we got in here? Yeah.
Or they ran to Walmart and we're like, or not Walmart, Woolworths. We're like, we need models.
Yeah, Woolworths, because there's Woolworths still around.
No, I'm talking like back when they did the original.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know if Woolworths was around then, but
there was one.
There was
when I was a kid in Berwyn.
Berwyn.
Yeah. Okay. From Kendall Conniff, I'm gonna kind of skip what he wrote, but I'm gonna put a little montage of the pictures that he sent in. He's using that electric fly swatter. Not really. He actually bought a static grass applicator, and he's been doing a lot of tests. So with grass application and how it works, and kind of walking us through what he's done. He's got some really cool examples in here of what he did. And also he has some examples of when he was using the sawdust to make grass pieces and mixing it with paint. So I'm going to throw here a little bit, some of these pictures. Very interesting. It's just really kind of hard to share here in a long extended way. So I'm just going to kind of put these up and show you what he's been doing. And I like that people like that he's just doing tests on grass and making for bases and stuff and doing little swatches and stuff. It's good stuff.
And he's not traveling bondage.
I don't get why everyone's prudes. I don't get it.
Prude. Okay.
I don't get it. I like making masks and costumes, and that's what the whole show was. So.
I think so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was.
Freak show.
I was covered in blood with candle wax on my head for most of the show.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, nothing unnormal.
Fake blood. And I had a great time with a clown shoe once. All right.
Never putting my foot in that shoe.
Nope.
I had a great time with a clown shoe. I don't even want to know what that means.
No, you don't. Clown shoes make the loudest noise when you hit somebody with them. These plastic clown shoes. I'll leave it at that.
Spank me, daddy. Okay.
With a clown shoe.
Yeah, I'm a prude.
All right. From Ray LeGrant. And this is what I wanted to get into this whole episode, but we're way far in. So after watching the last episode, I have a question for Scott. After purchasing a file for a 3D printer, how much of that money goes to the original artist of the cartoon, particularly Looney Tune characters? Now, I think we took this email different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, Scott, go ahead. And then I'll take
the email to mean how much does whoever creates the file get?
Okay, I took it as the people that own Looney Tunes and created the original Looney Tune character. How much do they get?
So I'll address it both ways.
Okay.
The person that sells something on CG Trader, depending on how much they sell and what have you, CG Trader, I think they start at 30%. I think the more you sell, the less they take. So if you sell a kit for $20 and they take 30%, you get 16.
Yeah. Wait.
And
really? I don't.
Okay. Or I'm sorry, you get no. I was. You know what? I was wrong. Whoa! I did the wrong math. Whoa! You get 14. They get 6. So anyway,
you could have said anything, and I would have agreed with it.
Yeah, because you don't have your calculator out. I took it to mean that. Okay. Now, if he means what does Warner Brothers get out of it, chances are right now, this is very much like the garage kid hobby in that nobody's licensing anything. Okay. And if you were, it wouldn't be there. Frankly, it wouldn't be there. And, we could go into the whole license and the garage kit
which
hobby.
I kind of want to do one day. Maybe we could do it now for a second. It's always been an icky area for me. Because I don't like people just taking other people's stuff and selling it and making money off of it. Because you would be pissed if they did it to you. But the other side of that is we wouldn't have garage kits if people didn't do that. And I don't know where, like, companies have sought those licenses and it's done okay. But in the end, the money you're paying for that license isn't going to kick back and it's not going to work. So
even George, who was on last episode, has paid for licenses. And when he started to get recast and stuff like that, went to the IP holder and said, hey, I need help. People are ripping me off, and got no help from them at all.
Yeah.
Okay. They basically took their money and ran.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's their property. They have that right. Okay. And, this is something that, Marvel, DC, Warner Brothers, they could probably slam the door on any time. Now, then you run into what, people are using the term fan art and collector to collector and stuff like that. And I don't know how much of that is legal and how much of that you can get away with.
So I just read, and like, this is where I think, and I'm not going to say the name of the Patreons I'm on, but one of them is DC stuff. And the other one has stuff from kind of all over the place. And I don't know how they're getting away with it. DC has to know. DC has to be pissed off. Like, at some point, they're going to come in and slam the door, like you just said. There's no way this is going to keep going on because it's just like the music industry. It's so prevalent right now that, and it's so out in the open, I think, that they're going to come in and be like, no, you're not going to do this. I know Games Workshop just shut down some private Facebook groups that they somehow, like, people are making their own miniatures and selling them based on Games Workshop IP. And they are notorious for protecting their IP. And good for them. I mean, they should. But to their detriment, they're not allowing. So for, like, people who don't know, Games Workshop is based off selling miniatures to play in their games at their tournaments and this sort of thing. They have now banned any 3D printed parts or modifications that are added to your miniatures and dioramas. So if you paint a miniature from one of their contests, you can't have any 3D printed anything in there. So if you're painting a Space Marine and you change the shoulder pad from a 3D printed one that you got offline somewhere, you're banned from the event. You can't use that at all. It won't work. So they are fighting, I think, wrongly against 3D printing, whereas I think they could incorporate it somehow. Other companies like Marvel and Star Wars, like, there's so much Star Wars and comic stuff out there in 3D print land. Disney? Are you kidding me?
Oh, if I see one more Baby Yoda, I'm gonna.
I know, they're everywhere. And how that's gonna, like, I don't know if it's that it's so big that there's no way to shut it down, and that might be it. It's like whack-a-mole from here on out.
Well, is it cost effective to chase it?
Right, and that's
Yeah.
the other thing. Like with garage kits, when you get a cease and desist, it's one guy, and you scare the hell out of him, and you know it's like physical stuff. When it's a file on a computer, you can just put it on a server. No one know. Like, it's very similar to the music industry, and I think, yes, I feel if that's what your email was about, was the original creator, it sucks, but I don't know how you get around that, unless the original creator somehow goes, hey, I'm going to start this STL place. I'm going to hire sculptors to do stuff for me.
And not to, again, I see your point, and I don't disagree with your point. But you wonder with things like garage kits and even now 3D printing, what it's helping, it's still promoting their product. Okay.
Yeah.
It's keeping their product going. It's still, look at the interest to this day. The original Frankenstein and Dracula came out in 1931. Okay. It's 90 years old this year. Right? 90 years old this year.
When does that public domain kick in?
Well, if they renew it, they keep renewing it. So
okay.
it doesn't, I don't believe. So for 90 years, this popularity has kept going. And mostly because of baby boomers. People that grew up seeing this stuff on TV for the first time in the 50s, 60s, 70s. And I hate to say it, the Aurora models, you could hate them or love them or whatever. Without them, I don't think the interest in a garage kit hobby is out there.
I agree.
So it's all just been the perfect storm. It's, I get it. And it's an argument I've seen the recasters use. Well, yeah, I'm stealing from you, well, you're stealing from them. And no, I don't think that's right either. That would be like, we talked about well earlier in his stuff, where you could just, I could just send you the file if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay. And he would get no money for it. And there would be those out there that said, well, he didn't pay anything for the rights. And this is, I guess, where it gets tricky. He's selling a sculpt. He's not actually selling. He's selling a sculpt of a character. There's nothing illegal about him doing a sculpt character.
Right.
Okay.
But making money off of someone else's IP.
Yeah, that could be an issue. And now again too, how hard is it to chase people in other countries, which has also always been the, Thailand and China and stuff like that. So it's, it's such a, just, I want to call it the garage kit dirty little secret. And if we want to see the garage kit hobby continue, or the 3D printing hobby continue, or whatever, we need to put, if this is how the question was meant, you need to put it in your back pocket. And if you don't like the garage kit hobby, then don't be part of it. But if you like the garage kit hobby, realize that this is the necessary evil that's part of it.
And I think
I'm
everyone
not saying it's legally and morally right.
Right. Okay. And I think that's the other part that I've always, at some point, everyone needs to admit it's gross. And you know what I mean? Because to sit there and say, oh, well, I can just do this. No, you're stealing someone's stuff. You are. But without that theft, we don't have a hobby. Admit it. That's it.
Well, you might to a point.
There's enough. That's why I always kind of lean on original stuff too sometimes, is I like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But there's not enough people who like original stuff to keep anything going.
So, yeah, I'm not quite sure how maybe we went too far or too deep into it. Maybe he was just referring to the sculptor. And if that's the case, the sculptor gets the percentage of what he charges. And that's, again, why I say if I'm going to print something for you, I don't care if I have the file. Okay, you need to buy the file because you need to support that artist. So from that aspect of it, I'm concerned about supporting the artist. You want to go one step further, go buy the DVD box set of Secret Squirrel or whatever you want and support the original IP holder. Okay.
Wait, is there a Secret Squirrel box set?
There is actually, yes. I think there.
All right, Scott. I think that brings us to the end of this episode.
Thank the good Lord.
Yeah, this was a weird one. It was a nice little filler episode, I think. But thank you, Uel Winner. That's really cool, and I'm glad you reached out to him. Again, email at modelclubtv@gmail.com. And from now on, please try and leave us a voicemail and leave your name so I know who you are. It's 708-816-4299.
Do we even know what the quality is going to be like on this?
We have no idea. So this is a giant experiment. Blow us up.
Blow us up. Kaboom.
So, all right, everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Take care. Recording. 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 We are recording.
Are we recording?
Are you going to do fingers?
I'll do something.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. What did you just do?
Did you forget how to fucking do this?
No,
Or
I'm
what?
trying to psych myself up.
30 fucking episodes, and all of a sudden you start mumbling at the beginning. That's great.